we get the name from Colombia. But we use the cartel to represent. We don't distribute drugs, we distribute music at the highest level.
People know what Vybz Kartel is all about. Well, that name now, originally it was 3 of us in a group, you know what I mean? And at the time, people were naming themselves like Crews.
Another thing that I like, that the name that I don't know if you gave that to yourself, is Dance.
Welcome to Make Dancehall Great Again channel. Today, we're diving into the untold story behind Vybz Kartel's famous name, exploring how a Jamaican dancehall artist adopted a moniker inspired by a Colombian kingpin to build a cultural empire. Before we go on, if you had to build your own empire, what would you call it and why? Let us know in the comments below.
Them want put me want money on girl. Them no wanna put me want money on girl. Them want.
Some names carry weight. A kind of power that echoes across continents and generations. You know the name Vybz Kartel, the King of Dancehall. But for over 2 decades, a silent question has lingered behind that famous moniker: why Kartel? Why would a dancehall artist from Kingston, Jamaica, choose a name that conjures images of Colombian drug lords and brutal cartels? The answer is a story of myth, metaphor, and the powerful art of building an empire, not with weapons, but with words.
Up to the time I had it from the Vybz Kartel and I want to name the weed partner. Me say the show.
How we head steaming like a pot boiler. How we head steaming like a pot boiler. How we head steaming like a pot boiler. We no drop yard, so you get shot up. The gun them stack up and we shot them pack up. Mouth yard shut up.
To understand the name, you have to understand the man who made it famous. Pablo Escobar was not just a criminal. In the eyes of the world, he was a myth. A kind of twisted anti-hero. He was the original kingpin. He built a system, a cartel, that had so much control it could rival a government. His name became a symbol for absolute, uncontested power. And this image, this larger-than-life legend, was broadcast globally through movies, documentaries, and news reports. It was this televised mythology, not the criminal acts themselves, that made its way to the streets of Kingston.
School money this. Every night we come, I will big up bad man, I will big up hot girl, I will big up shutter. Walk to the pit of them, put on that. Yeah. Sherlock, yeah money that. Craig Dennis, you just must get 150 now. Einstein, where your money?
That them a girl is on the par with no lady. Maybe that cool to you, to me that shady. Take that complex and let's pretty base. Where I'm from.
The 1990s in Jamaica were a cauldron of creativity and competition. Dancehall was more than just music, it was a way of life. The DJs weren't just entertainers, they were the storytellers, the prophets, the leaders of their communities. The lyrical clashes between them were legendary. It was in this world, where respect and dominance were earned with every word, that Adidja Palmer started his journey. He and his friends, a small collective, were trying to find their voice. They needed a name that represented their ambition, their desire to dominate the scene.
De destrucción y crimen. ¿Por qué al mismo tiempo tanta gente sufría por su partida? ¿Qué había detrás de la imagen de Pablo Escobar?
I don't know where we get the name from Colombia. But we use the cartel to represent. We don't distribute drugs, we distribute music at the highest level. Potent music. Music that the world wants, so Vybz Kartel, you know what I mean? Cool.
They needed a name that screamed power. One day, while watching a movie about a powerful drug lord, the idea hit them. The term cartel wasn't about the crime, it was about the control. It was a metaphor. They weren't a group of criminals, they were a group of artists, who were going to control the music industry. The way a cartel controls a territory. The name was born, Vybz Kartel. When the group eventually split and Vybz Kartel went solo, he kept the name. He made it his own, changing the spelling to Vybz Kartel. It was a masterstroke of branding. He had taken a name that was once associated with chaos and turned it into a symbol of artistic authority.
You know what I mean? Because cartel mean a group of persons who really come together to control competition, you know what I mean? Control prices and limit competition, and that's what we were doing in Portmore as a crew.
Me say if you show one and you get one drive, if you show two and you get two drive. But Vybz Kartel at the bank, I know.
I'm from every man of a whole man and if they don't have one. Cartel, you know what, tell them now. I represent Portmore, Kingston, countryside, J. Home of the gal is where we get girls like this. Me without a gal for one night, she must be crazy.
How we head steaming like a pot boiler. How we head steaming like a pot boiler. How we head steaming like a pot boiler. We no drop yard, so you get shot up. The gun them stop.
Jamaican dancehall artist DJ Palmer, better known as Vybz Kartel, has introduced his Street Vybz Rum.
The name cartel became a prophecy. He built the Gaza Empire, a metaphorical kingdom that controlled the airwaves. He wasn't a criminal boss, he was a cultural kingpin. He managed his artists, he launched businesses, and he dominated trends. He showed the world that a DJ from Waterhouse could be more than just a musician. He could be a CEO, an author, a fashion icon. He used the name as a symbol of his control over the culture, not with force, but with creativity. The cartel he built was an economic engine, a cultural force, and an undeniable brand. He leveraged the weight of the name to project an image of power that no one could question.
Was location before his journey across the corporate area and St. Catherine.
And Tobago.
So, Cartel, tell me a little bit more about this daggering condom.
Hey, Wagwan GQ. This is Vybz Kartel.
Yo, Shabba, from Pompana to Waterloo. This I get a youth point of view. Hey, Russian!
Ultimately, the story of the name cartel is not about crime. It's about a young artist who understood the power of a brand. He took a word that symbolized dark power and repurposed it to define his own kind of dominance, a dominance of art, culture, and influence. He became the architect of an empire, not of drugs, but of dancehall. Vybz Kartel didn't just get a name, he gave it a new meaning. And in doing so, he showed the world the real power of a creative mind.
Well, dancehall era come from the fact that Vybz Kartel is the era for dancehall, because at a time when dancehall was going into a lull, so to speak, and hip-hop was threatening to take over Jamaica culture. There comes Vybz Kartel from 2002